Hey, I'm Paul Garcia, and tonight, you know it's night because the moon's out. If you didn't know, here's a little fun fact: Luna is moon in Spanish. So there's a little academia tidbit for you. But tonight, I will be reflecting on my reading unit for my first college English class. I chose these two assignments because I thought it would be neat to see where I started and where I ended up, having my first annotations and having my last reflection, because I get both best of both worlds. One being an individual annotation by myself where I first started, and the second one being a reflection of a group annotation where I ended up, and talk about everything that happened in between and how I developed my SLOs. Now, what the heck are SLOs? It's short for Student Learning Objective.
These include communication, written, oral, and visual, critical thinking, teamwork, and personal responsibility.
Now, the two I'd like to highlight is critical thinking and personal responsibility. Guess who has two thumbs and got kicked out of a construction site? This guy. First assignment: How to Read Like a Writer by Mike Bunn. Um, when I first got this assignment, it was super daunting, just because of how many pages and that I had to highlight everything. I thought that's what I needed to do. That was the pressure to it, and so with that pressure and like I don't have the longest attention span if you can't tell by how many cuts I have in this. I needed to break it up into parts. I did three parts. Two of them were at school's library. Uh, the first one I was at the school library, and then the last one was also at the school library. The middle one I did at my house. Now I like the school library. Uh, I like having the background noise, even though I was listening to music at the time, but also like some visual intrigue too. It's like having like a show in the background, just for the audio, and also like so I can glance at it and see what's going on and go back to my work. And I like to people watch. And I mean, there's some pretty interesting people at school. Uh, so it's a nice treat to be in the library and do that. But I could only do like a couple pages at a time. And then when I was at home, pretty quiet, but I wasn't really paying attention. I kind of like skimmed over it, so I had to go back and reread it to understand and fully see and understand what I was reading. Um, and then last time did it at the library, same thing. That's first. But when we talked about it in class, uh, everyone was talking about, oh yeah, how it's so repetitive, which I didn't pick up on because I read it in so many parts and spread it out. Every time I read it, I'm like, okay, seems new to me, because it wasn't fresh in my mind. Maybe it's because I wasn't reading right and wasn't really obtaining and like soaking in like a sponge, like what I was supposed to. Uh, but yeah, so from that, I learned that I should just sit my butt down and read the next thing I was going to annotate from start to finish, all in one sitting, annotate it, do whatever I need to do to get through it. So then I could see the whole article as a whole that the writer intended me to read. Um, Obviously, I'm not going to read like The Lord of the Rings or It, yeah, in one sitting, but like for academia, there's another cut. Um, but learning I just need to sit down and read it all the way through. I took that, and I think that started my personal responsibility journey. Before that, I didn't I never really had to do that because like my whole day has been ordered. I never had this freedom to choose what I do and what I didn't do. So this is new for me, uh, and I like it. I like having this freedom to choose what not to do and what to do, how I should prioritize my time, and when I do it, like I feel like I accomplished something. You know when for example, I mean I don't know about you. I also, by the way, my audience is you, uh, the teacher, professor. I mean, I don't know about you, but like some days when I was living with my parents, I still am. when I would live with my mom or dad or whatever, and I'm gonna do something nice. I'm gonna take out the trash. But when they tell me to do it, I'm like, nah, nope, nah, I'm good. Like that drive to do it just like fades away. Like I have that like drive because no one's telling me to do it. Um, so I really like that. I like the feeling of having this freedom. Now, for my next assignment, I chose my fourth reflection, reflecting on
Critical thinking in college writing, from the personal to the academic.
by Geta Dasbinder, something like that. Now, also, I could choose to cut this out and do it again, but I think messing up and having this like more realistic esque dialogue is just a lot more personal. I've already said this. Um, it's not an excuse for me to like not do this and do it better again. I really think this is like a better way to obtain content and see that I'm truly reflecting on the material. Uh, but uh, but that's just my critical thinking and communication skills shining through. That reflection, I chose the reflection because I got to reflect on it, and I got to talk about how it kind of changed my viewpoint on just critical thinking as a whole. Before, I'd think of it like, oh, critical thinking, got to put my brain to work. I don't want to do that. Um, but this has shown me, especially when annotating, but also just good life lesson and something to remember. Keep in my repertoire, my toolbox. Is that I don't need to know everything, but I could use my opinions and knowledge of a topic and have that be the base layer, and then have more academic discussions on top of that from my opinions and thoughts on the subject. But that way of thinking and using my own personal opinions and thoughts on a subject and knowledge of a subject to join an academic conversation is going to help me with my teamwork and communication skills. I thought this unit was a great help. It gave me a peek into what the next 3 to 4, maybe even after, probably after, because I'm going to history. So I'm going to have to be reading a lot. What my life will be like, and I'm excited. This is like I like doing it. I like joining this conversation even though no one's talking back, which I quite I kind of like I just said. Makes me feel smart and excited to learn. I thought this was a 10 out of 10 unit. Uh, yeah,